The 2020 season of the Longines Global Champions Tour starts in Qatar, in Doha at Al Shaqqa. But in the first round, this is the most unlucky man. It is Jos Verlooy who jumps to clear but finishes outside the time allowed. 600th of a second too slow, and Verlooy doesn't enter the jump-off. Who does? Well, that is Max Kühner on Electric Blue P, Titouan Schumacher en Atoom Z, Marcus Eining on Funky Fred, Niels Bruinseels on Deluxe van TNL, Jérôme Guéry on Quel Homme de Hus, Nicolas Philippaerts en Katanga, and Daniel Deusser is last to go on Killer Queen VDM. Kühner sets off as first, but on the third fence, the ExxonMobil vertical, the red rail catches him and catches him out for the jump-off. Kühner, who had a good campaign in Al Shaqqa, also on the Global Champions League, does confirm his good form and also the potential to maybe become a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner in the 2020 season. Outsider for the victory and a surprise to be in the jump-off, but on a great performance in that first round was Titouan Schumacher. But just like Max Kühner, it is that ExxonMobil red rail that does it for the young and talented Frenchman on that also highly talented Atoom Z. In the race to finish ahead of Kühner, Schumacher takes risks, and a lot of risk, towards that last fence. It all looks good, and he seems to be beating the time of Kühner, and he is faster, but the last fence, another rail falls. It is 8 in total, and he drops behind the Austrian. Marcus Eining and Funky Fred also go in the jump-off, but Eining in the double combination of Longines, first part goes down, and then tries to get ahead of Kühner. Eining, in his very well-known forward style, manages to get ahead of Kühner. At that point, the German takes the lead on 4 faults. Bruinseels then on Deluxe van TNL. The Belgian is off, and it is a very promising ride as he maneuvers his way through the fences built by German course designer Frank Rothenberger. Bruinseels already looking ahead. Double combination of Longines. And Deluxe on air and on a mission. Bruinseels accelerates, comes into the turn, and it's difficult to see, but there with the hind leg, the rail falls and Bruinseels sits on 4. Eining was quick, Bruinseels not as fast, and he drops in second just behind the German, and the Belgian is now in rank 2. Another Belgian comes in, it is Jérôme Guéry on the big striding Quel Homme de Hus. Guéry opts for a different approach, a different tactic than Eining, Bruinseels, Kühner and Schumacher. Guéry tries to go clear, but slower. Well planned and well controlled with the athletic stallion. Guéry gives him precision and an excellent placing to the combination, and then speeds up into that last line. It was here that Bruinseels had to fault, but not for Guéry. And then that big stride comes in handy. He opens up the stallion, lengthens the stride, and jumps that last fence clear. And we have got the first double clear. And Guéry leads the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Doha. And another Belgian comes in. Now it is Nicolas Philippaerts on the very fast Katanga van het Dingeshof. Knowing that Guéry was clear but slow, the young Belgian adds a gear to his ride. Katanga is not gifted with the same long stride, but she is an incredibly fast mare. Halfway through, a second and a half quicker than Guéry. But Guéry really opened up in that last sector, and that is where Katanga might struggle, so it would come down to the last fence and the finish line. 46.27 to beat, and Philippaerts is quicker and overtakes his countryman and goes into the lead. Guéry is now second and Eining is third. But one man is left to go, and whatever he touches these days turns into gold. It's Daniel Deusser from Germany on Killer Queen VDM. Only 10 years young, this mare by Eldorado van de Zeshoek, but a tremendous talent and considered as one of the best horses in the world. Deusser is ahead of the experienced Katanga van Dingeshof, that fast mare that travels quickly. But this mare has got the pace and the stride. Can Deusser stay ahead of Philippaerts? Round the bend he comes, and then he accelerates as well and goes flat out right down to the last fence, checks once for the fitting distance, jumps the last Longines oxer, looks at the clock, and a second and a half he's quicker. And Daniel Deusser wins the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Doha. Daniel Deusser wins the first golden ticket for the Super Grand Prix in Prague. Philippaerts and Guéry, the Belgians, for second and third place. Fourth is Ening, 5 Bruinseels, 6 Kuhner, Schumacher and Verlooy with a time fault. What has Deusser got to say about this victory?
Daniel, that was a spectacular performance. You galloped to the last and it really paid off. This is an incredible horse for you. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, like you said, I'm still a little bit speechless, to be honest. It's the second week for that horse here. She wins the second Grand Prix. Only with her 10 years of age now, she's still quite young, and I think she shows everybody that she's one of the best horses in the world.
It is a tremendous win for Deusser, the trophy and the golden ticket to the Super Grand Prix in Prague. The tour now travels to Mexico in 3 weeks' time. The Americas are next up for that double leg of Mexico and then Miami.